UCD Bristol. Thanks for having me. Not usually great for a comedian to go first in something, but hey ho, we'll give it a bash. Okay, so my talk today is a slightly reworked version of a lightning talk I gave at UX Bristol last year. Please also excuse these are my notes tonight. So a bit more about me. I've been doing stand-up comedy now for about 5 years. I've been wanting to try it for ages, and I happened to see a poster for a 2-day course, and got involved and have been loving it ever since. I'm currently part of a workshop and performance group called Funny Women Southwest, and we have a meetup called Time of the Month, in which we all kind of workshop and then do performance, and it's a great space to try out ideas, and I really recommend it. Prior to my role at Sparkol as a UX designer and researcher, I was studying psychology and had a career in copywriting, so I bring all these kind of skills to my job at the moment. Our main product is Video Scribe, which you can see, creating the animation behind me. It's pretty handy. So as I've worked in comedy in UX design, I've kind of been struck by parallels between the two disciplines, and I've written a kind of light-hearted talk to get us all thinking about that. Okay, so it pays to bomb early. One of my comedy mentors, Maggie, shared with me this week one of her favourite jokes, actually her favourite joke in the world. Okay, here it goes, I'm going to test it out. What's white and can't climb trees? Anyone?
Banana.
Oh, someone said fridge. That's right, it's a fridge. Okay, wow. Now maybe some of you were thinking fridge and didn't say it. That's cool, oh, fun. But well done, it's fridge. Now, Maggie, as I said, thinks this is the best joke, it's her absolute favourite joke. But she's only found 2 or 3 people that have also found it funny. Do you find it funny as well, or you just kind of know the answer? Yeah. Okay, so this isn't in Maggie's set, basically because, you know, on validation, people just aren't finding it funny. So kind of something I've drawn from this is comedians and product teams kind of constantly analyse our user feedback, and we act on it to meet the needs of our audiences more and more effectively, and that's when we're talking about in more detail. Okay, so to generate material, I tend to jot down funny things I experience in a note file on my phone. As I go to write down an idea, I try and run it past someone just to check that someone else in the world finds it funny. I'll then group common notes together in my phone and kind of weave them into stories, and then knit the stories together to create a set. I'll meet with my workshop group, and we'll bravely share our material, maybe in groups of 2s or 3s. We call this activity Pimp My 5. As in product teams, not working in silo is crucial to get different points of view and to increase the quality of what we're offering. Someone will often suggest a tweak in how I deliver a line or the timing, or ask me what a certain word means. And I can make changes to my material to make it more accessible and more delightful. Our favourite jokes are often a bit too specific to us, like that fridge one, so it may just have to go. Open mic nights are our beta testing playground as we ramp up the amount of user feedback we've got coming in. The extent to which we'll do better is very closely correlated to how hard we're working performing at shows. I record my sets, which makes it easier to spot when my laughs are hopefully coming in, and which bits we'll need iterating on to get the reaction that I want. It's pretty similar to testing the user experience of our products, don't you think? At Sparkol, we just put out a beta product test. But under no illusions, we expect, and of course want, constructive feedback. Most importantly, this feedback will help guide us on what our product should become. It can help us answer not only questions on what jobs our users are able or not able to do, but also what features could make their experience richer, easier, or more creative. Bombing fairly early means we get iterating pretty quickly. Now, as many of us will know, this direct feedback for UX is gold, as it is for comedians. At Sparkol, I sit in customer support, which proves to be, I think, really useful. That's my version of reading the room, reading the audience at work. Sent in the live land, so this kind of feedback is on the UX team's radar. I also dip in and read our support tickets pretty regularly. While there's work that we can do on how we collaborate, on how we collate and prioritise the different streams of feedback we have at Sparkol, I really feel that reading the room in this way can be great to keep us mindful of the pain points our users experience as we juggle all different kinds of goals for our products. So, the art of performance. What's the key to success as well as this hard work? I'd say it's empathy. Comedians are often really empathetic. For example, I can pitch cringe-worthy stories about living with my partner, which I'm confident will resonate with many other cohabitees in my workshop group and beyond. I'm pretty good at observational skills and picking up little relatable details to add to my anecdotes to create an emotional experience for the audience. As in comedy, in UX design, the devil can be in the detail, whether that's the placement of a CTA or the wording of a header. I'm reading the room to hear how much each detail drops each time and weeding out the fails. As a comedian, I need to give the audience a great experience of my content. Going back to writing, I mentioned that I weave my notes into stories. A challenge I sometimes face is how much to embellish on the truth to make a story even funnier. I'll do it a bit as far as I'm comfortable with and make sure it's not too many steps away from reality for believability. The most important thing is to be able to present my story with authenticity. But I think the worst thing as an audience member is if I feel I can tell the comedian is lying and I'm being duped. They've lost my trust. This makes me think of hand-holding through a product experience for a user. Not only should the journey be seamless, in which the user doesn't feel confusion, we also need to avoid them questioning the authenticity of what they're seeing. They'll go somewhere else. You'll find that great comedians adopt a conversational style, as if they're talking to friends. This is something I'm still definitely working on. It takes confidence in knowing our material and in our emerging persona. Work in this area is so worthwhile and can allow a comedian to spark joy in an audience with personal touches and audience engagement. In the same way, some of my favourite websites have adopted a tone of voice in the UX copywriting that's conversational and warm. For me, this makes for a superb user experience. So hopefully, nailing a few of the principles I've outlined will help us as comedians begin to attract early adopters of our work who can vouch for us and sing our praises. Kind of similar to when we're developing and putting our products. Feeling the fear. People are always saying, well, you're so brave to do stand-up, but I think not really. In the end, I think about the positive outcome that I want, the kind of getting laughs, even improvising, and I get a lot of pleasure from getting better and better at what I do. Perhaps this is what keeps startups and companies getting new products out there going. In the product world, I think this is analogous to the mixture of fear and excitement when a release goes live. Will people respond as you hoped? Hopefully, it's not the end of the world if it's not. In comedy and in product, we'll have a plan that includes what to do if things go wrong. In comedy, we practice what to do if anything goes wrong, including hecklers. Okay, so to wrap up, in comedy and in UX, we validate our ideas, getting feedback so we can iterate and achieve the emotional response in our audience that we want to. This might be a feeling of peace of mind when navigating our app, and indeed, delight. Bombing as early as possible is good. I'd like to leave you with something to think about. I put it that comedians may ace getting and acting on direct feedback, even better than UX designers do. Now this could be down to circumstance. As a comedian, you have to get instant feedback all the time. You and your product. There aren't teams of people around comedians who take in the feedback first. To maintain reputation and to make an income, feedback is constant. My question is, as UXers, do we have barriers which mean that we can't get feedback as effectively as comedians, or act on it so directly and instantly? If we have these barriers, what can we do about them? To end, the use of humour can have several places in our work. It's a great help when bonding with colleagues or research participants. It's also great to go and see live comedy. Some of the best escapism I've found stay mentally healthy. I heartily recommend doing a course in Bristol. Come and chat to me if you want to know more about courses or the comedy nights. Oh, and beware of fridges trying to climb trees. Thank you.
formed this question in my head, so I'm just going to speak. So I think the ability to gather that feedback and be open to receiving that feedback are potentially two different things. So one thing is, okay, I want to go and get this, but then it's the ability of almost kind of putting yourself on the line a little bit. So what advice might you have on getting over the fact that you need to put yourself and any designs that you kind of put out in front of users over that fear of, oh my god, they might say they don't like it, or what if they can't use it? Do you have any advice for people to get over that?
Okay, that's a good question. For me, I mean, our kind of head of product is really keen on getting this current product out to beta test, and she's really upfront the gaps that have been left by maybe previous product teams on this product. Maybe haven't validated things as well as they could, and feedback now will help us kind of fill in gaps or maybe make change to the product. So for us, that isn't scary. For me, the hurdle is, as a UX designer, getting people to put things out to test as much as I think is good, whether it's just a change in a cancellation process on the site or things like that. I think, yeah, if you don't put things out to test, I mean, just not getting that feedback is absolutely the worst thing. So I think you just got to feel the fear, and through evidence or what data we can show, kind of try and prove to people the need for getting feedback on anything, on tweaks, if we feel that's needed. Does that answer the question?
I think so. I think some people have that, or potentially have that fear of even just putting it out there. So there might be the will to want to put it out there, but that helps you get over that worriness of what if they dislike it, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite new, but maybe you put it out to tiny groups first, maybe to friends. There's a meetup called, I think it was called Drunk User Testing, but maybe it was changed. What's it, User Testing Social?
Bristol, User Testing Social.
Yeah, there we go. We get people there that kind of, before wider testing, are just showing it to kind of friends, colleagues, and hopefully maybe even through survey. Again, I've been a designer for a year, so this is kind of what I think. Maybe through survey we can kind of glean what people do need through focus groups before, and that maybe make it less scary to put something out.